All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm back home. I rested yesterday. Well, yesterday I drove home and then I had softball. And today it was just a day of rest, doing laundry, cleaning a little bit. My place was a mess because I just had boxes everywhere from the deliveries and getting all the equipment I needed to get back out in the streets again. So my place is just a mess. But I've been working on it and cleaning on it and getting ready for this weekend with the No Kings protests, and I actually got I got like a tan in Chicago. It was weird. It's like October, and I got a tan. I don't know. I was just outside from like 9 a.m. I think that's what it was. But it was a long weekend. Not really a whole lot of, not really like getting gassed and stuff or flashbang, but it was a long weekend of standing in Chicago with the protest. A lot of the action that's happening is with ICE directly, and ICE taking action within the streets. And I get it's kind of like you have to follow the community groups of people that are tracking ICE because they move in silence and secret, but people are tracking them, and that does happen. There was just a community in Chicago that was tear gassed today because of ICE actions. It was like 40 minutes away from the airport, but it's not where the protests are. Right, so like a lot of the coverage I do, I go to where the protests are, which often are with the police, and it can happen there. But a lot of the things that I didn't cover, which is the ICE actions directly, I mean, I can't get to all of that stuff on a regular basis. Yeah, you imagine being subscribed to my channel and saying that. Let me fix this really quick. Check in, guys. We also got our mods reorganized. If first Twitch comment, yeah, Suspense, I see you there. I got a couple on Twitch over there. Not too many. We got our Twitch is growing. We're at nearly 12,000 followers on Twitch, so I appreciate that. Hello, Rolf. Hello. I have a ski bunny tan line. Is that good or bad? Christine, check in. Hello. How you doing? What up? Good to see you survive the war zone. I did. We did. We survived the Portland war zone, and then the Chicago one, or whatever. But Chicago, it's like a tough one because you got the narrative of the protest, and you have the narrative of the city, but then you actually have ICE doing bad things. So it's like, hey, nothing happening to me in Chicago, but the communities in Chicago that are being ravaged by ICE, the stuff's happening to them. It's just hard to follow them around. We tried. We had some journalists with us that are very good at tracking ICE and where they're at, but it was to no avail. Or the ice fishing excursion didn't work this weekend. That doesn't mean it won't in the future. But in Portland, they're able to directly protest ICE and the federal agents. So it's a little different there. In Chicago, you have like a 2 blocks of space, and the state police and the sheriffs are protecting the ICE agents and also, I guess, the community. But you have layers of separation in Chicago from the protest to the federal agents, which is why it's not as psycho as like Portland can be. But Portland isn't psycho in the way of a war zone or like what the right wing media is painting. It's because of the federal agents coming out and gassing people for content, and the MAGA group that has formed out there in the little patriot counter protest that's begun and has been exacerbated by others. We're going to go into some of that tonight. We'll check some of the protests, but I'm not going to restream protest coverage tonight. It was a lot. It's a lot being out there. I do want to get back as soon as possible. So you guys that support the stream, I appreciate all that. It'll be a lot easier once I get paid by the end of the month. Looking good. A lot of the support you guys sent already during the streams in Portland and Chicago will show up here soon, and being able to travel and just go places on a moment's notice will be far easier than having to wait for fundraising to do stuff. I'm thinking this weekend we'll see what happens this week. What's going to happen in Portland? The only Portland or Chicago, and we'll see if it escalates a little more. And if it doesn't, I'm likely just going to stay here in Minneapolis and cover the No Kings. I don't know. I mean, you got a pretty big platform. It'd be a good opportunity now to give some attention back to Minnesota and Minneapolis after going a couple of places and growing the community pretty good, which I appreciate everybody that did that, everybody that joined the Discord server, everybody that's plugged in over the past couple weeks between the Portland coverage and Chicago. That's been awesome. So, I mean, I think I'm likely depends. It depends on what happens this week. If it gets crazier, like the fence comes down tomorrow or today. It came down today. It's today Tuesday. Yeah, it came down today in Chicago, but I didn't hear of the protests escalating in any way, shape, or form. So that's kind of like what I'm waiting for. I'm just gonna be honest. So after 2 weeks now of covering this, you know what, where we thrive the most and where we need to focus on sending me is where most of the violence is. I'm just being honest. Like I gotta pick places that the most state sanctioned violence is happening. Okay. Like, and that just is what it is. I mean, protests will happen throughout the country, but if they're kind of just like the most peaceful thing ever, I mean, unless like a narrative is being driven about it and there's lies being told about it, I can probably not go there and go to the place where shit's popping. Okay. That's basically where I want to be sent, is where it's about to get real. That's where we need to go. Okay. So going forward, because I mean, I was in Portland the one weekend and Chicago was going crazy. And then I was in Chicago this weekend and Portland was going crazy. So like we need to get on the right side of this loop here of like being in the right place. I mean, it's not like I wasn't in the right place. It's fine. But you know, I need to be there when the tear gas and the flashbangs come out. And that's where we need to be. We need to be there when they're about to start popping people. That's just what it is. Okay. That's what Mercado Media thrives in. And I will stand there in a peaceful protest all day, and I will do that. I have done that, and I will continue to do that. But I mean, I'm best suited where the government's coming with violence, and I need to cover that. All right, so that's kind of what I figured. I mean, we were back covering domestic news and politics and going back on the ground, getting out there. But you know, we're best suited to be sent places where shit is getting real. Okay, and like it's probably gonna be dangerous, but that is what it is. What a weekend though. What a couple weeks. We can go over some of the Chicago stuff. Let me just check here. I don't think there's any streams up of Portland that are really worth tuning into right now. I know a lot of people immediately wanted me to go back there. There's left, and then you're like, go back. Like, dang it. Which is fine. Portland's awesome. It looks like just the streets open in like a small group, but you got a lot going on there. With the drama of the right wing influencers. It's really just what it is. It's a bunch of right wing agitators that are lying about what's happening out there, making themselves a victim. It started with Nick Sorter and stealing someone's flag, and then he made himself a victim. And it's kind of gone beyond that, and it's gone into more and more. You got Andy No just reposting all of the right wing accounts that are standing out there. I'm just kind of looking at it. I got a bunch of bookmarks saved from what's going on out there. We also got a oopsie situation, more than an oopsie situation, for Matt Tardio. Uh oh. Yep. I'm gonna play it here. I'm gonna be getting more information in the background, but let's just say Matt Tardio should unblock me on social media before I go into this investigation, which makes sense. I was wondering why I didn't get any further op orders from Matt Tardio over the weekend when I was in Chicago, until I was like, let me check. Like maybe he's posted something, and then he blocked me. So he was the one that was in Portland and called out to a bunch of other patriots, MAGA, to come out and clear out the sidewalk. This guy is the host of the Speak the Truth YouTube channel, so if you guys like want to know. And he didn't start this channel on his own because he's so dog shit. He's live right now. What's he doing right now?
United States of America.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, so this guy who's live right now on his YouTube channel that he bought from Rob Turkla, because again he can't do anything by himself, got himself into some trouble in Portland over the weekend while I was gone in Chicago, and I'm actually talking to the person directly and getting more information about it. But Matt Tardio doesn't seem he can keep his hands to himself. So, and again, some of these accounts are MAGA. It is what it is. But it seems that there are some within MAGA that aren't okay with being weird and creepy. So it is what it is. But some of these accounts are going to be MAGA that we're going to have to deal with here to look into this. But it has to do with Natalie Bermudez, and I've already talked to her, and I'm going to get more information as this comes out. But I mean, if Matt should probably unblock me if he wants to tell his side of the story. Okay, let's just put it that way. But here's the Matt Tardio did in Portland.
If you've seen the past couple interviews that I did with Natalie Bermudez here, you'll know that she is accusing Matt Tardio of misconduct, and she has filed a police report with the Portland Police Department.
Matt Tardio is going to have a case on him in Portland. Yep, that's going to happen.
This here is just some of the footage that has been scrubbed by various people from various live streams from the night of October 6th. Here is where Natalie believes that the misconduct that she allegedly experienced from Matt started. She alleges that Matt started getting very close to her and started grabbing on her, and she felt very uncomfortable and was kind of casually trying to back away just a bit but not cause a scene, because she was afraid that the people in the Patriot camp would be upset with her and take his side because he was the one who called everyone there.
Exactly. This is how right-wing little shit world works too, by the way.
I, come to find out, was sitting over here against this little wall in a chair with my head down editing a video. Then you'll see Natalie and Matt start to walk across the street. Natalie alleges that Matt had grabbed onto her arm and told her, hey, let's all go for a walk over here, because Matt earlier had said that we were going to Patriot March, but then she got across the street and started looking around
and there was no Patriot March. It was just Matt and her.
Because she said that she felt concerned because she noticed that no one was following them. So a few minutes later, from various different streams, there's a couple of quick clips of video showing two individuals walking down the railroad track. That this is the railroad track that Natalie alleges the misconduct took place. Natalie alleges that this is indeed her and Matt, and she alleges that this is when Matt was grabbing and pulling on her. Now she's alleged more misconduct, and if you want to hear about that, watch one of my other videos, watch the interview, watch all of.
And we'll have I'll be doing my own investigative reporting on this too in the background, because I already reached out and she's confirmed. Natalie herself has confirmed this, but it's her story, and I'm gonna it'll be private, back and forth until I'm comfortable with coming out with what I have. But this is just to give you guys the gist of like what happened. But when I obviously talk with Natalie and get her side, like that won't be public, okay? That'll be between me and her. And then Matt has an opportunity to tell his side, but he blocked me. So it's really up to Matt. It's really up to Matt if he wants to tell his side of the story of what happened here.
These allegations coming out of her mouth herself. I didn't witness any of that this night. Now I did see Matt and Nick Sorter with her just walking around casually. I mean, I thought that maybe she was one of their girlfriends or something, but I never talked directly either to Nick or Matt that night. I only talked to Natalie when she had, a few minutes after she alleges that this experience had happened, she went up to Nick Sorter, which I watched her talking to Nick Sorter because they were near me, but I had no idea what they were talking about. And then a few minutes later, she approached me and she told me that she told Nick the same thing she was telling me. Natalie basically was just telling me what she shared with you guys in the 2 interviews that I've posted that I've had with her over the past few days. Feel free to reference those. Again, she can tell her story way better than I can because I didn't witness any of this.
Which is why I reached out to her, because I can't completely go off of this person because they didn't witness it. But I reached out.
But I will say that there seems to be more video footage coming out. So I just wanted to share with you guys kind of where Natalie's at. The fact that Natalie says, yep, that's me in all of those videos. I think it's a good thing to just kind of say, hey, perhaps some of the perhaps some of the alleged misconduct that she's describing isn't in these videos, but there now, that doesn't mean that the allegations are necessarily true, and I completely realize that. But I feel like it's important to update you guys with the video footage. This video footage has been turned over to the Portland Police Department by Natalie herself. I am waiting on a copy of the police report from the Portland Police Department, and I will share that with you guys next.
And I'll be getting all that too. Okay. And there's more coming. All right. So there's more coming. It's vague on purpose because it has to do with misconduct involving Matt's fucking hands and a person that wasn't wanting their hands on him. Okay. So there's got to be a degree of like, there's like a case coming. So Matt's going to have a case on him with his Natalie person. Okay. And I'm going to get the details and the story in the background. A view from Tommy. She's standing there, the filming looks like, with Matt near stands in front of her and then both crossing the road. I think one of them Tifas have a good view recording. One of them Tifas. The Tifas saw the misconduct. This is probably what you already have. You can see them talking to each other. Matt is standing almost against her. Very intimidating, at least. Her face says enough, but guys don't care. I realize in MAGA world, they're not gonna give a fuck. Like they're just gonna be essaying each other and a bunch of bad shit, dude. That's what it's like there. But and like it is what it is. Like if a woman's in an uncomfortable situation, and just because she's MAGA doesn't mean that it's not important to call out. Doesn't look like Matt's live here. Matt's live everywhere, is he? So that's those two there. Okay. All right. Well, I'll be getting her side, and if Matt wants to be a man and tell his side of the story and not a little bitch, then he can unblock me. It's not my fault he wrote an op order for a bunch of hippies in Portland, Oregon, and got made fun of for it. But also he goes deeper than that. He's just been posting all, let me see here. He thinks, I mean, you can block me, but I can still see all your posts. Thanks, Elon. So this could be him trying to get out of his case that's coming. I spent a full week on the ground in Portland, Oregon. Assessment. 2 things need to happen, not just one or the other. 1, the National Guard needs to take control of that city block. 2, the leadership at the Portland Police Bureau and the city leadership need to be investigated by the FBI for corruption. Maybe they need to be investigated for what you were doing out there, because you got caught and you're about to have a case on you. Since Portland has captured MSM's attention, the PPB has been reactively policing and effecting more arrests. However, these arrests are few and far between in relation to the amount of crimes that are taking place. In one instance, a man felony menaced counter-protesters by brandishing a firearm to instill fear of death. When police investigated, they discovered the firearm was a pellet gun. Because this man had a dog, they issued him a ticket instead of arresting him. See how small he looks? He's like that in real life. See how little Matt Tardio is? He's little in real life too. Simply bringing in Brennan in the National Guard does not solve the overarching problem. The lawlessness of Portland has created a general public safety matter. The lawlessness of Portland. A general public safety matter. Just lying. There's nothing else to say other than this dude, this loser, is lying. Little Matt. Look at him. There he is. So this is the guy that's going to have a case on him in Portland on his YouTube channel right now. The police officers working the streets in Portland are all well aware of this issue. It seems to be their leadership that could care less. It's time to restore law and order. Just calling for shit that doesn't exist. They're lying. They're a bunch of liars. Here in Portland, Antifa protesters have received a U-Haul full of their gear. They received a U-Haul. I had people in my comments saying, Nick Shirley isn't bad. Nick Shirley good. Are you out of your mind? Anybody that was at that Antifa round table last week is not good. Not a single person that was in that little round table with Trump is a good person or a good journalist or does good content. They're all retweeting each other now. Katie Davis Court was on it. So was Nick Shirley.
I'm here in Portland right now, and it looks like Antifa, the protesters here, have had a shipment dropped off in a U-Haul right here. They're saying it's all the stuff that's been taken away from rapid response and from people since they've been out here. So there's a whole U-Haul full of stuff that's been getting dropped off right now of all of the equipment from the past few months of their protest. You have all the
There's some coolers in there, like mostly coolers. A tent.
stuff that's getting dropped off right here. You have all of the inflatables as well.
Wow, they have a grill and inflatables. Wow. Guys, look at the Antifa terrorist network. Guys wearing dinosaur fucking dinosaur swim trunks, and he's got a satchel and multiple different colors of coolers.
Their protest, you have all this
oh my god, guys,
stuff that's getting dropped off right here. You have all of the inflatables as well.
Wow.
That the people have been protesting in. A little strange. They have a U-Haul.
A little strange.
Shipment full of all the stuff that's apparently been taken away. So stuff's been coming in. There's still protesters out right now.
Stuff that's been taken away. Yeah, it clearly was taken away. They can put it back. Because Matt Tardio and a bunch of other fucking losers were crying about it.
Pile of garbage.
Because then you will be taxed into poverty.
The current court
Your media and your people are watching this. I'm just going to let you know that when you stood there and you said it wasn't a war, the goal.
Oh, is he talking at me?
The goal. That piece of garbage didn't even have the goal to come over and say a word to me in Portland. Hey, by the way, Mercado, now that your media and your people are watching this, I'm just going to let you know that when you stood there and you said it wasn't a war zone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, when you stood there and you took that video on day one showing yourself around, why don't you tell people how you dressed in all black with body armor and a helmet that very evening out on the streets?
I don't need to tell anybody. They watched it. Can't stand Mercado. Good. Mercado's a piece of good. Then what do you mean tell everybody? I was live streaming myself, and you wear all that because the police come out and tear gas and flashbang, you fucking loser. Why'd you tell him it's not? Did this guy serve in the military, actually? With his special forces ranger? Look at the fucking tabs he's got on. Look at this fucking loser. Look at this fucking loser. Little ass Matt. Little baby Matt. 5'5" ass Matt. Not even fucking scary. With his special forces ranger. Does he even really have all of this stuff? Does he even really have any of this? There's no fucking way. He's trying to convince his audience, while he is a combat ultra super veteran, that Portland, Oregon is a war zone. That tells me that he doesn't know what a war zone is. He never served in a war zone.
Why didn't you? Did you show people pictures of you doing that?
Probably. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I was live the whole fucking time, you loser. What a fucking loser.
Because you're a lying pile of garbage.
Okay, Matt. Okay, Matt. Bet.
Then you will be
I was live the whole time. This is fun. We can talk at each other through streams. I love this. Is he like? All right, what do you say now?
30 seconds of that man's video. Dude absolutely crushed it. Absolutely.
Mercado's a meth head.
For Sharia. That couldn't be a part. Ties the video. They salute Palestine while they go balls to balls. Gentlemen, this is a you've lost a nut. It's not going to happen. Now maybe.
Oh, I mean, well, that was fun. Okay, well, I'm not the one that blocked. I'm not the one that blocked me. I didn't block Matt Tardio. I was here saying my shit, and then I kept him unblocked. He's the one that blocked me. I bet you didn't show him that. I bet you didn't show him that. Motherfucker, I show everything. You're crying and you're hiding in your little fucking bitch MAGA corner. Little pussy. His little fucking little right-wing little safe space. And his little fucking diagram he's got over here. What a absolute pussy. Don't worry, guys. You know where Matt Tardio is going to be. You know where Matt Tardio will be. He'll be in his little patriot bitch ass safe space over here, or over here. They mapped it out for everybody. Little patriot safe space, so where they can hold their American flags and cheer on the government, gassing people and grabbing people and stealing them. What a clown! You're gonna talk to me through your live stream and you blocked me on your shit. I've called you out multiple times, and clearly any of these fucking losers can approach me if they have a problem with what I have to say about things. Did his stream ruin?
Tomorrow morning, 8. Nope.
Yeah, tap out, you little pussy.
Standard time.
Yeah, tap out. He's so small. Chat, you guys don't truly understand how little Matt Tardio actually is. Like, it's hard to see him over a crowd. Like, you know, when there's like a crowd of people and like you can see people, like Matt is like hidden. Okay, it was hard to see him. The only way I could see him is because he had bright blue American Eagle fucking Hollister clothes on. That's the only reason I could like see him, is because he had his little hat on backwards like he has now, looking like a washed fucking varsity. Oh yeah, tap out. Well, like, even when he had shit to say, it was some bullshit, right? I wasn't expecting him to respond. That was cool. Mercado, why don't you show everybody while you were just standing there? What the fuck do you think I was doing while I was standing there? What an idiot. Well, there you guys go. Now you guys can see anyone that watches Matt Tardio. Clearly, he's a fucking loser. And he has no idea what he's talking about ever. Even in his response, Mercado, you should have showed everybody. I mean, what else do you want me to show? What else is there to see? Your non-war zone? I'm gonna call him a fake veteran. We gotta find out. We gotta get Matt's GD214 now. I don't believe a word he's fucking said about being a veteran or anything. There's no way. There is no way an actual combat veteran is calling Portland, Oregon a war zone. It's impossible. A serious one, maybe, unless a combat veteran has been indoctrinated. Or maybe a combat veteran that is watching too much Fox News. But they can be saved. Matt Tardio, I don't think can be saved. Number one, he's got a case coming on him. So he's got a case coming. We'll be interested in that one. So, Matt, you got that going for you. Two, you can never undo this. You can never undo your actions here of drawing a fucking op order for the little 2/10 of the little... The fact that they're trying to hyperbolic this as if it's a war zone still three weeks later, after we've already all collectively laughed at them, and they're still doubling down on it, is hilarious to me. Is fucking hilarious to me. My streams were longer than Matt's the whole time I was out there. I did longer live streams than Matt did. Find Matt's longest stream, and mine's like at least 4 times longer, of like Portland. He was live for like an hour at a time in his little safe space, his little right-wing ass MAGA bitch ass safe space that they have. And they do have that. That's what it is. They're not just out there like within the crowd trying to find out what's happening. They're not just out there trying to genuinely see like what's going on and what the situation is. They're in their little safe space. They're in their little MAGA corner, holding their little American flags, acting as if they're under fucking siege, acting as if they're a bunch of little pussy ass victims. And that's what Matt Tardio has decided to do now. But Matt's got a case on him, so I don't know how much longer that's gonna go. Here's the blonde chick that's out there with him.
Okay, little update on Methany. Still hasn't been arrested. Surprise, surprise. Who would have saw that coming? Matt and I did see the cops talking to her, but I just called the cops.
Did Matt put his hands on this chick too?
And they still don't have a name on her. They still have not arrested her. But they decided to get her side of the story from...
You said Staff Sergeant Matthew Tardio briefs his squad on tactical movements. It's on Google. War.gov. U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Matthew Tardio, assigned to 1st Battalion, 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, briefs his squad on tactical movements before his team runs through practice drill during a 10-day French tactical desert survival training course. So that's not combat. He was deployed to fucking Africa. And this one, okay, they're doing training op. Is there something that shows him in actual combat or like doing something for real? Appreciate that. Okay. This dude's apparently a Delta Force fucking operator guy. This is okay. Any U.S. Army Staff Sergeant in any combat role has done this, especially at the rank of Staff Sergeant. You're doing this. Not even combat. Like, if you're a Staff Sergeant, you're fucking doing 1,000 things. So like getting E6 is like a blessing and a curse. Yeah, it's cool, but you got like 18,000 more responsibilities and classes you have to give. This is like standard. This isn't anything special. Anything normal. He was deployed to a combat zone. I want to know for sure if he was. There's no way. There is no way he has the opinion he does about Portland and the lies he spread about Portland and this fucking street and this little intersection, and he's been in real war. There is no way. Not a single Ukrainian veteran or anyone that's actually fought in a serious war would look at this and like laugh. They would look at this and fucking laugh. Like, really? For the little hippies that are out there and their 2 tents that you guys needed to make your own little patriot corner now? Local punk rock band showed up in Portland, Oregon. ICE DHS government building. They performed a few loving, supporting, and tolerant songs for the agents. Maybe that's why Matt was like against Ukraine actually like getting weapons and succeeding, because he's too much of a pussy ass bitch to fight a real war. That's why. Maybe that's why Matt Tard gave up when the Russians were on the gates of Avdiivka. That's the reason why I didn't like him at first, was because he was like, Ukraine needs to give up. Him and Rob, when Rob was still there, did a video, and their video was like talking directly into the camera about how Ukraine needs to give up and stop fighting. Maybe that's why, because Matt Tardio is a little bitch and like he wouldn't be able to handle an actual war like that. Because you guys, no serious veteran that's been in some shit would do this. Would make this fucking map like he did and create and made this this whole fucking situation like Matt Tardio did, and then also catch a case for putting his hands on a woman in the middle of it all. No serious veteran is doing this. Serious veterans are protesting this government. They're not fucking being a little bitch ass Matt Tardio. Matt Retardio. That Portland shit just is the most annoying thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Because, and then you got Dave Medina, who a lot of racist ass MAGA out there were like, "Are you Medina? You look like Medina," because like I don't know, we're both not white, I guess, and that's all it takes. So they're like, "Are you Medina? Are you Medina?" I didn't even know who that guy was at first, but I learned quickly who he is. But they're lying about Portland. All of them. Every single right-winger, every single right-wing influencer, every single person that's gone out there is a liar. That's talked about Portland, Oregon. All of them. That's why everybody's begging me to go back, because they're tired of watching the right-wing streams, because it's just a bunch of them agitating protesters. Nothing actually serious is happening other than when the feds come out and gas people and tear gas and flashbang. But like, if you go to protest, you should just expect that. I mean, that's just kind of part of it. But beyond that, no one's burning things. For it to be a riot, for me, for it to qualify as a riot or something that requires more than like more than what Portland's providing, would be looting. If those protesters were out there looting the businesses around, if there was fires, actual fires, burning vehicles, burning buildings, okay, and if there was lawlessness in terms of like no police presence. And like there's no police at all. That's a riot to me, because I've actually been in riots. I've been in multiple actual ones. Not like when protests get out of hand and people with sensitive feelings don't know what to call them. When the police come out and tear gas people and flashbang and like smoke's in the air and it's all crazy, that's not a riot. That's not a riot at all. Police are using riot munitions. They're using crowd control munitions, but it's not a riot. They overreact to the majority of like what is even happening out there. The police are overreacting the majority of the time. We saw firsthand what happens when the police de-escalate, like they did in Chicago, and when the Illinois State Police, and when they came out just ready to tackle people and beat people, how quickly that situation got out of hand. And then the last night I was in Chicago, when the police were like, yeah, fuck it, just like stay in your little area, we don't care. Guess what happened? Oh boy, people like went home. They're like, oh, okay, I guess they're not enforcing a curfew anymore. We don't have anything to really rebel against. And then the protest kind of dissipated. It kind of went home. When they were like, let's try to de-escalate once and see what happens. And it ended up being like de-escalating, which is what happens the majority of the time. By the way, yeah, the chest is usually down the road, though. It's in a unique spot for this video, but it's usually just on the other side of the street. And then MAGA will go, no, you have to go at night. No, it's a war zone, but the war zone only takes place when the sun goes down. Come on, you're not telling the truth. And then I go out there and stream at night. None of that happens. And then they want me to call a war zone like when they see people wearing black bloc. What's crazy is when Matt Tardio said that on his stream about the gear I'm wearing. The gear I'm wearing is this. I think I posted it on Discord, didn't I? Just because Matt wants to be out there and get tear gassed and touch women without a permission and not have protection doesn't mean the rest of us do. Matt wants to be out there with his backwards hat and his Hollister shit on. So all right, so 3 things that I got that I'm wearing, okay? Because I'm trying to be a journalist and it says press on my vest clearly. I wear a helmet because I've been hit in the head with less than lethal munitions multiple times by projectiles. And luckily, one of the times I was wearing a helmet because that one fucking flew off really fast. And like, I probably would have been knocked out. Who knows? Or I would have been like, ow, that would have hurt. I got the mask because obviously the tear gas comes out and it hurts and it sucks. And I don't want to run away like Matt would or go and hide. Matt would go and hide next to the building so that way he'd be away from where the gas was going. So he wouldn't even be in it. But not me. I'm trying to stand in it. And then for the plates, like I take those out, like I have them in my backpack, and until I hear gunshots or there's like somebody with a gun, I'm not really going to have those in. But if somebody shows up with a rifle, like there's rifles around, then I'll probably have my plates on. But just in general, I'm wearing the vest because it says press on it and it's very easy to identify. Like here's me. Okay. I got my red press card with an ID. I'm wearing very clear identifying press on my chest and on my back. It's on the front and the back. I got my gear in a pouch here, and I got my camera. And I'm wearing all of that because the police come out and are shooting those pepper balls all the time, and I don't want to get hit by them. Don't want to get hit, but I can take a picture in front of where the war zone is just fine, I guess. There's your war zone. Majority of the day. In a real war zone, though, just because daytime happens doesn't mean the war stops. Like, Matt should know that if he's actually served in a war zone. Matt would know that. Matt would know if he's actually served in combat. He would know that daytime operations take place. Daytime strikes happen. War zone does not end because daytime. You're purposely showing the calmest time of day. Why don't you show up at night? Why don't you show up at things to the BLM riots? Which is really what it is. That's really what it is. Is these maggots, these fucking cultist losers, have nothing right now. The situation of the country is actually really bad. The tariffs are destroying our economy. Donald Trump's presidency is fucking terrible. He's losing people by the day. And this is their payback because the Black Lives Matter protests, riots, and movement destroyed Trump in 2020 because people were out in the streets and they were active. MAGA was in my comments and chat the whole time laughing, thinking like, oh boy, this makes the left look so bad. Oh boy, look how bad the left looks. Meanwhile, the whole time, the movement against Trump was just growing. Yeah, there was Portland was hot. Minneapolis was hot. There were some hot zones, but the majority of the country was just peacefully protesting. The majority of the country was out in the streets marching, protesting, holding signs, all of 2020, which led to Joe Biden fucking winning because people were active in the streets. And so because of that, they're trying to aura farm the situation as if it's still 2020. They're trying to fist the 2020 situation into 2025. And it doesn't work, because when you go out there, even if you, like, for me, I was out in Portland in 2020 and I saw what that was like. Yes, protesters were pretty fucking hostile. Yes, filming was not safe. Yes, there was tear gas and flashbangs and fucking shit all over the place. It was nuts. Is that 2025 Portland? No, not even close. Not even close at all. And matter of fact, the crowd out there can become more MAGA than the little Antifa or whatever. There could be more MAGA standing out there, especially last night. They had like a Charlie Kirk effigy or something out there. They had like some Charlie Kirk thing standing out there. I can find it. I was off of X for most of the weekend. We got gassed earlier this morning in the east side of Chicago. Yes, thank you. I gotta show that in a little bit. But there's more MAGA out there in their little group. There you go. They had a Charlie Kirk thing. I don't know who painted that, but that looks nothing like Charlie Kirk. I don't know who that is, but that is not Charlie Kirk. Very interesting. Why don't you use the actual picture of him? What's wrong? What's wrong with the actual Charlie Kirk? Oh boy, that's on him either. No, that's an AI generated picture of Charlie Kirk. Was he that ugly? Was Charlie Kirk that fucking looking like, hey, you guys, that you need to make him not look like he did while he was here on Earth? Did he look that much like a Goonies fucking stunt double? I think he did. But, I mean, clearly MAGA does too, seeing as y'all are fucking putting pictures that aren't him on everything. So anyways, Matt Tardio's got a case coming. He's a fucking loser. This is still the most cringe thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. He's having an op order for the 2 little tents that were on the street. And then they had a big victory because they got the tents taken down, I guess. And if Matt has a problem with it, he can come up to me. I'm not going up to him because I got work to do. I'm gonna talk my shit, and if he has a problem with it, he can come up to me, just like Cam did. If you guys don't know, Cam Higbee came up to me in Chicago, took a fat fucking L. You shouldn't have done that. You should have just let me talk my shit and just let me be a little irrelevant little Mercado. But no, they don't. But Cam Higbee got the smoke this weekend or last weekend, and this would happen to Matt Tardio or anyone, by the way. It's not just going to be Cam Higbee. If they want to come up to me because they have a problem with what I have to say, well, then now I get to talk to you. But until then, you're part of the story, and I get my freedom of speech to talk about you because you're part of the story. If you're just a fucking little journalist person and you're out there, I don't have shit to say about you. If you're like a journalist or you're like doing filming or taking photos or whatever, I have nothing to say. What would there be to say? But if you're like an influencer or you're a Matt Tardio or you're out there like an idiot and you're making yourself the story, then the smoke's coming. The smoke is coming if you want it. But if not, then just stay away from me. and you're not going to go viral for looking like a silly person. But Cam Higbee came up and just wanted to know why I called him a clown.
Is there like any
Huh?
other?
Were you talking about me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's up? Why didn't you say hi?
Huh?
Why didn't you say hi? You were talking about me?
Do I have to say hi to you?
Well, you're talking about me. I figured
Of course.
you'd
Well, yeah,
want to say
apparently I gotta come up to every single person I talk about. Like I said, if you're just like a regular person and you are just a regular out there, I have nothing to say. What is there? Cam Higbee was on the Antifa roundtable with Trump. Okay, he was on that shit. Matt Tardio wishes he could be. He's probably jealous and mad that he wasn't on it. But Cam Higbee was on that thing.
You're part of the, oh yeah, you're a clown.
Yeah, why am I a clown?
You're a clown because you work directly for the federal government?
I don't.
You do.
Prove it.
You were just at the round table 2 days ago.
Does that mean I work for them?
Absolutely.
Lots of people go to the White House.
No, not the White House. It was the round table. All right, we got Cam now. All right, we got Cam here.
Genius.
I wasn't even trying to film him, but like because he was gonna keep going and wanted to debate me, then now okay, bet now you get the camera. But clearly I was like hoping this was gonna end, and he just walks away when he realizes like I'm gonna say like if you want to come up to me because you heard about what I said about you, feel free. Please feel free. It'll just help me because I got the facts on my side. I ain't afraid of nothing. Okay, so it's only just gonna help me, and it's gonna make you look like an idiot. So if you want to do that, by all means, and I get to call you a clown and a loser to your face. What an opportunity, boy! What a deal.
All right, so what was your purpose in Portland, Oregon?
In Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
To live 2 hours
Yeah, it's
away
Cam
from
Higbee.
Portland?
Yeah. All right, so what's up? All right, so what was your purpose in Portland?
My purpose was doing my job.
What was your job? Okay, so
Oops, doing my job.
so 2 week contract reporter. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, you were in Washington D.C. wearing a MAGA hat, dancing.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find that now. I think I have it in my bookmarks. So this was Cam like before he got chased out. Oh, I think he got chased out of the HBCU. And then was dancing. Hold on, sorry. Let me scroll quick. It's been a lot of bullshit. I swear I bookmarked it. He was like in the a lot of Portland shit. He was like in the street wearing a MAGA hat, like doing the YMCA and like trying to get a Palestine protest like to look at him, basically. Like, hey, we're here. Hey, pay attention to us. We're out here. Hey, do you see us? We're protesting you. Basically, that's what Cam was trying to do. I swear I saved it. If I didn't, maybe I can type it in. So many things. So much stuff. Okay, I'm going too far back now. I don't think I have it here. Let me see. If I can find it. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it. Let me look it up quick. MAGA influencer pepper sprays woman. Yeah, he was out there in DC. He pepper sprayed a woman outside of Union Station. What he was doing, like he was trying to do is he's trying to be like Timu Charlie Kirk, which the protest did call him out for. And then on the next day, they called him Timu Charlie Kirk and were chanting it at him because that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to wear his MAGA hat. He's trying to do this like change my mind thing too. So here he is sitting there in his MAGA hat.
Here's the light. Here's the light. Stop. Oh. Dumb stupid bitch.
Okay, pepper sprayed her. Okay. So he was doing his like change my mind thing, but I don't know if I could find the clip of him dancing and shit. That's the same crew as this. So this dude is the same little press dude who was next to him in Chicago. And they're on like a tour together or something. Okay. So, and he's been doing a whole bunch of like activism shit beyond that. Okay. MAGA influencer, pepper sprays woman and scuffle. Cam Higbee. Let me see if I can find. All these videos are on fucking X. What is his thing? What's his little tour called? Is it? No. He's a part of a whole bunch of PACs and stuff. Israel for sure. That's the HBCU where he got chased out. It's not Fearless Debates. It's gonna bother me until I find it. Was it the Fear? It is this, the Fearless Tour. Look at. Where is it? Where's the dancing in the streets? I'll find it now. There you go. That wasn't hard. So this is what I was talking about when he came up to me and I was like, you were dancing in the fucking road. What kind of journalism is that? Like, who does this? What kind of journalism is this? And he was like, you need to do research on me. Bruddy, I know everything, okay? So they're the ones that are playing that song on their speaker. And like the Palestine protest isn't even like looking at them, but they're doing agitprop. So you got the police there, but you can see the Palestine crowd is facing the other way. They're not even like facing in the direction of Cam and his little butt buddy with him. They're facing the other way. Okay, so you got that, the national anthem, and then okay, so they did all that, and then they were in Portland, and then they were at the Antifa roundtable. It was wild. So that's what I was referring to, and like you were out there dancing in DC.
Like in the street, like you're dancing and shit.
I'm on tour. Yeah.
So you're on tour. So are you a journalist or are you an activist?
It's like, well, there can't be both. You cannot be both. You can be like obviously you can do journal, you can be like an activist in your private time, but like when you're out there in the street and you're doing like this, then you have to choose. You got to choose. You have to choose. You're either activist or journalist when you're like covering events. And people that are both are not a journalist. There was a time yesterday, no, 2 days ago, in which I'll admit for like 20 minutes, I was not a journalist because a veteran was being attacked verbally. And I should have like I should have taken off my thing because I can't represent myself as media while I'm like in the middle of it and stepping in. Okay, because of what was happening to the veteran out there. But we dialed back in and got back into journalism mode. But when you're doing activism shit, you're not a fucking journalist. Nobody is.
I'm a commentator. I started a tour after Charlie Kirk got killed.
That's what activists do. Activists go and they dance and they shit.
I'm a commentator and journalist. I go college campus to college campus and I debate.
And you get chased out.
I got chased out.
Yeah, you got chased out. Yeah.
I got chased out by a bunch of savage animals. Damn, I missed that part. Because he was like talking at his phone. He was talking to me through his cell phone, which is really weird because I'm standing right in front of him. And you guys are watching me you guys are watching, but I'm like, the phone is like to the side and I'm like looking right at him. So like I'm looking at him with the phone holding to my left and he's like looking at me and talking to me through his phone, which is really weird because I'm like right in front of him.
Yeah. So you're a clown. All right. There was one. That's all I need. What else? What the fuck else do I need? So there was one period of time in which I thought that you could.
And by the way, you don't need anything else. Okay, when you want to call them weird, you want to call them losers, you want to call them clowns, and then they go, "Oh yeah, source." That's weird. You don't have to explain yourself beyond that. You want to call them a clown, you want to call them a losers, then do that. You want to call them weird, do that. Don't let them cry victim or definition explain you of like, oh yeah, well, what is a clown? Oh yeah, what's a clown? If I'm a clown, then explain it. Like that's Matt, that's what conservatives do. Don't let them do it. Just be like, you're a fucking clown. Goodbye. And then like they'll go, well, how am I? Give facts and resources. And I thought, oh, that's woke. But you guys don't like facts and resources and science. Tell me the science as to why I'm a clown now. No, don't even give them that.
Have been a serious journalist is when you debated Jackson Hinkle because I thought that you cared about Ukraine. So you were debating Jackson. It was actually a good whatever. It was actually a good interview. And
he's like, I do care about Ukraine. No, you don't. No, you don't. So Cam and Jackson had a debate. And Jackson Hinkle's a piece of shit too. They're like equally bad. But like a year ago, wow.
Disregard.
So this is when Cam Higbee was trying to do real journalism for like 5 minutes. He's got like a little studio and shit. And it was like all set up. And like this is when I became privy to Cam over a year ago. I also forgot to tell you guys, me and Cam exchanged phone numbers like in 2024. Because at the end of this video, he goes, I don't even know you. And I quickly remember that he follows me on Twitter. But then I was like, later on in the day, I was like, what the fuck? We exchanged phone numbers. Like I literally have his phone number and he has mine. And like we talked like out of the, like in whatever. So he debated this loser because Jackson Hinkle is still a fucking loser. And it went well. And Cam got him on facts and evidence. And I was like, dang, okay, Cam Higbee, I guess, is he's gonna be a new hitter out here in the world of journalism or whatever. Like, he was at the time, he was a little soft on Israel and shit. Like, he was definitely pro-Israel, but not in like a Nazi way, which is weird to say, but just the reality of the situation when it comes to Israel. So I like wasn't like paying attention to him too hard in terms of like what his rhetoric was. But it wasn't until time went on and now he like got involved with the Israeli government. It was being sent to Gaza to lie about the aid that was being distributed, that was also a thing. So you can go like Cam, he went to Gaza and lied about it. That's what his profile picture is. So you went in front of a bunch of pallets and was like, they're not getting, the aid is just sitting there. The Palestinians don't even want the aid. Yeah, there's plenty of food in Gaza.
Vegetables, just cans and cans of vegetables. You could feed so many people chickpeas.
Keep in mind, there's 2 aid distribution points, and they're both controlled by MAGA NGO. There was a bunch of them. There was like 9, and now there's only 2 in the whole of Gaza, and they're controlled. It's not like a free flow of aid into it.
You could feed so many people with this stuff. What do we have over here? Looks like more chickpeas. Like, look at just endless amounts of food. And over that fence, there's more food.
So he's been doing this now for like the last 6 months, like Israel influencing directly. I mean, he's connected. Cam Higbee. I mean, oh, if I well, you need to see it. You guys need to see it in 4K. Okay, so that's the vibes. That's what's going on. So all that's going on, and I'm like, okay, this dude's a fucking complete loser, and that's why I was calling him a clown. And then he became super clown when he went to the Antifa roundtable. And it was like, the protesters are terrorists, and
Thank you.
This nightmare blunt rotation that we had to watch. Cam's on the other side. He was like the first one that spoke on the other side. Hold on. Yeah, he's right there on the corner.
I'm mad. I got.
Yeah, Mr. President, and they're so mean. There you go. There's Cam. And there's Nick Shirley on the Antifa roundtable. So that's why protesters were not okay with Cam just being around. Because you're on this roundtable with the president of the United States, calling protesters terrorists and comparing them to ISIS, and free speech should be taken away and all this other shit. So Cam became super clown at this point. And that's why I was calling him a clown before I even got out there and I saw him. I was like, oh, there's that clown Cam Higbee, because of his own actions. My opinions of people don't just come out of a vacuum. My opinions of people don't come from nothing. How I feel about someone is because of their actions. And that's it, really. I mean, I don't judge you beyond that. Like, even if someone tells me about you, I'm like, oh, okay, until I meet them and talk to them, then I don't know. Could be true. That's why I called Cam a clown, between his journalism attempt, his connections to Israel, and his sitting on the Antifa roundtable with Trump. That's all I needed. I didn't need shit else. What the fuck else do I need? Honestly, what other sources do I need? You know what I mean?
It was actually a good debate that you had, but it wasn't until you started to become a MAGA propagandist.
I always supported Trump.
I always supported Trump.
Since 2016.
Okay. Well, you didn't.
Why? And I didn't realize he isn't even looking at me when he's talking. I'm locked in, so I'm seeing tunnel vision. I just see when this is happening, I see Cam's silhouette, and I'm just locked in. Like, this is the time I'm actually looking in your fucking eyes, and I'm like, you're dialed. I'm dialed in. I didn't even realize Cam wasn't even looking at me while talking at me. I did not even know. Like, look at his eyes. He's like looking away. He's looking at his phone, and I'm like, we are literally probably 2 feet away from each other. Like, he's right in front of me. Very wild.
You didn't make that your. You didn't make that.
Like, who's he talking to?
Forward-facing journalism until recently, when you found it could be a grift for you.
I've posted about it since 2019.
That hasn't been your main content since recently. I don't
literally Google me. Google. I knew who he was. I've known who he was for a while, as I told you guys. I mean, the reason is because I was connected to Ukraine and covering geopolitics. And unfortunately, these fucking losers like Cam Higbee and Matt Tardio were like around in that time period. It just is what it is. Like, if they weren't figures within that time period of like 2022 to 2024, like last year now, I would have known who the fuck they were. But they made themselves relevant in that time period. And if you make yourself relevant, then because of what I do with my stream and the amount of information we consume, we're gonna know who the fuck you are. We're gonna know who you are. It just is what it is. Like, we hyper focus politics here. The regular normie person wouldn't know who he is probably, because they're not watching politics like we do every single day on the stream. But I knew who he was, and if you should have known who he was in the past 3 years, if you've been paying attention to geopolitics in Ukraine or Gaza. A lot of people don't like him because of his connections to fucking Israel, and they know about it.
I don't need to Google it. Yeah, 16. This was a bad idea, Cam.
Oh, you just said
Cam, this is bad.
It sounds like you're really scrambling. Oh, use my name. Since 2016, I posted my personal Facebook.
He said the more attention you give these people, he came to me. I was standing in my spot filming the police. He came up to me. Right? It just is what it is at that point. Then you're gonna get the attention you're looking for. But you got to know how to handle them. If you go to engage with them and you don't know what you're doing and you look like an idiot, then yeah, you're gonna look like a moron and you're gonna take a fat L. So you got to know I'm not afraid of Cam. I can destroy him. Okay, so like, if you don't have that confidence, then don't do it, because then this could have went bad for me, and like Cam and his little MAGA fucking shit would have made him out to be like a superhero, but it didn't work out that way. So if you're not built for that, then have someone else do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But also, you're not giving attention to every single right-wing person, or like you're not like going up to him. Cam made himself a story. Cam made himself into the story of like what's happening out there. He could have just been. There's plenty of conservative MAGA streamers and content creators that don't put themselves into the story, that don't make themselves to be the story. They're conservative and MAGA, but they're out there doing their little thing. And yeah, they'll probably lie to their chat and do propaganda with their chat, but they're not making themselves a victim or the story of what's going on.
He was there in the round table with Trump, with Nick Shirley, with Jack Pacific, with Katie Davis Court. Exactly. Their whole goal here is to get protesters on camera so they can clip them and then send it to right-wing media directly to Trump now, because he is connected to him. You literally were just there talking to him 2 days ago.
Have his phone number?
Bro, I don't get to talk to the president of the United States. Nobody gets to talk to the president. You did. You talked to him.
I talked to him for 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
For 2 seconds. For 2 seconds, I did.
I want to cry right now from happiness because we have been.
I want to cry.
Absolutely. We can do protest chest. Beaten down. I've been almost beaten down. Acknowledging.
Let's listen to Cam. Let's listen to Cam's statement to the president of the United States and the entire cabinet of the presidency.
It's too bad you have to go through it.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
Well, you're going to get to the bottom of it, so it's a very important thing you're doing. Thank you very much. Please, Cam.
Yeah, I've just got something very short. I'm attacked every time I do my job. When I leave my house to go to work, I
was playing when we were watching this live, I was playing the sad music. That's why.
am violently assaulted. I've had guns pulled on me. I've been bear sprayed. I've been beaten down. I've been almost killed. So my question for all of you is, how would you feel if every time you showed up to work, masked militants tried to kill you? Because that's how we feel. That's our lived reality. And you guys go and tell us that we're liars, the riots aren't that bad.
The riots?
I've never seen any of you guys on the ground. In fact, I've never seen anybody represent.
And he's talking at the media. They're like, Trump gave him an opportunity for like fucking MAGA scumbag losers to shit on the media. Like, that's really just what this was.
Representing the companies you work for on the ground. You guys come to us for interviews that never get published.
Oh, yeah?
Stop saying we're lying. We're not. We risk our lives every day to do the job that you guys are too afraid to do.
Right. Yeah.
What network would you say is the worst, if I could ask?
Oh man, yeah, that's a real tight spot.
Honestly, it's a simple question. And
well, there's a lot of people in this pool, and I would say I'm not talking about Fox. I'm not talking about news.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the right-wing media, Fox and Newsmax,
or any outlet there was.
Or the only one that signed on to the Pentagon press pool thing, which is going to take place. Even Newsmax and Fox News said no to that one. We'll get into that in a little bit here.
Stumbles them, so I'll let you guys put the pieces together on who I'm exactly talking about.
Who would you say? Which network?
MSNBC for sure.
Yeah, MSNBC for sure. According to my data, a lot of MAGA don't like that one because it's like MSDNC, and they got like a saying with it. So I'm going to say that one.
Seconds, brother, you were in there for a whole press conference, and he was talking about how we're ending freedom of speech and shit. What are you talking about? You're the new media now. Good job. You're a new government too.
The future for the media is bright, man.
It's not though. Not with you.
It's very bright.
Not with you.
It's very bright. So what is your issue with what I do? You said
because you're going in. You're so.
Jackson.
Yeah, your Jackson debate was great. I love that. That was good.
Lots of great debates.
That's the only one I saw though. So I saw that. I saw that when I
talk shit about me. You should do some research.
No. I can talk shit about you because I've done plenty of research on you.
You haven't. You just said you haven't done any research.
I haven't watched his other debates, which is useless, by the way. Useless content. I'm gonna be honest. Like, debates in 2025 are fucking nothing. Can we just be so serious? Like, yeah, they're entertaining to listen to, but like at the end, you're like, damn, I regret all of that. I regret listening to this cancer because debates go fucking nowhere. And 20 people aren't listening. It's useless. Watch any debate with like a right-wing MAGA versus anyone else, and it's literally like you want to jump off your balcony afterwards. It sucks. It's content that you'll consume because it's like, oh fuck, let's watch this train wreck. It's like watching a train wreck.
Brother, I'm standing. We're standing on the same grass. Like, I'm out here with you. Like, what are you talking about? You go out to protests, clip protesters, so that way you can get them in trouble with the police and directly to the federal government.
Crimes, yes, that's exactly.
When they commit crimes, there was a protester here talking to the police, and you're like, oh, what did you mean by that? What did you mean?
Like, there was a protester heckling the police, and then Cam like leaned in with his phone and was like, oh, what did you mean by that? What did you mean when you said that? Trying to be a hall monitor.
By that, you're going up to people that don't know who you are.
What she said was that these officers should call their wives because they might not make it home to them.
Okay.
So I asked her, what did you mean by that?
Okay.
Are you going to kill them? Is that what you were saying? That's what I
That
asked
is
her.
your whole purpose here, though. That is the only thing you're doing.
My purpose is here to.
You're not here to just show like what's happening and like what's the environment.
This crowd, all you're sitting here doing is filming the agents.
What?
Oh, you're just filming the agents, which there weren't agents there. It was just the Illinois State Police and the sheriffs. But I mean, my bad for filming the state violence, which I got sent to go do. Why else would I be in Chicago? I mean, going to see a baseball game would be fun, or like going for tourism, but I'm going there because of the state violence or the violence from the federal government. That's literally it.
What the fuck? I'm here filming the police. Wow, that's what we're supposed to do. Right. What the fuck else is there to do? You're out here. The protesters and the police are both part of the story. You're just filming the protesters.
I'm filming both. In all of my shots, you can play my stream back. You can see protesters and the police. All shots.
Cam,
I post videos of the police moving in on protesters.
Cam.
And they fucking suck.
Cam.
I post videos of protesters getting injured all the time. I interview protesters and I post them in their entirety.
Okay, Cam, you're not going to be able to play this with me. Okay, you are playing a fucking game with me. You are playing a game. I'm not. You know, I think you're a clown.
Because no matter how much woofing they do and barking, because that's what it's like, a hurt dog, right? When a dog gets hurt, and you get a dog hurt, it yelps. Okay, they're not. They do agit propaganda. Okay, agitation propaganda, agitprop, and their whole purpose is to film protesters and make propaganda out of it. Okay, just like here's a good agitation propaganda for you from Tommy, who's the new right-wing hero who can't even spell Rome, or he can't spell many words actually. This is the new MAGA superhero. So many jokes. I have so many jokes. I have to keep them to myself. I'm a changed person. It looks like a crank anchor's star. Let's just put it that way. Keep it to myself. If I don't have anything nice to say, shouldn't say it, right? But his new thing that he's got with the propaganda is he followed a group of the protesters to their storage unit and is like, wow, they're receiving cartloads of stuff and taking it into the storage shed. What kind of shit is that?
Because the secretary was here, and now look, they got pallets full of shit.
They got pallets.
Pallets full of shit.
Yeah, what's on the pallet? Why don't you go ask him?
All the shit that rapid response swept, dumbass.
Pallets of shit. Rapid response, you need to come back and re-sweep them. Let's go.
Pallet respond, come back and re-sweep them. So they got back all of their stuff that Martardio called for help to get out. So that's good. And little Matt cried and got their tents taken down and all of their shit, and now they got it all back. So that's good.
See where they take it.
And then he follows them to the, like, let's go see where they're taking it. Motherfucker, it's in the South Waterfront heated storage. I wonder where it's at. I wonder where they're going, you fucking... Actually, when I want to say that from now on, I'm just going to pull up a picture of Tommy. We'll just do that. We'll use visual examples for what I want to say.
You need to come back and re-sweep them. Let's go.
Whoa, I wonder where it's going.
See where they take it.
Yeah, let's find out.
Let's go see where they take it.
Wow, what a mystery. This is what goes viral in MAGA world, though. Look at 15,000 likes, 222,000 views. Wow, I wonder where it's going. Let's go find out. Mystery.
Let's go see where they take it.
Yeah. Let's go. I truly don't know.
Pallets.
Pallets.
Thank you for the donation, Kyle. You're awesome.
It's always got to be a Kyle. Yay. I can't.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See where they take it.
No wonder why you guys want me to go back, because you have to watch this. Wow, you're telling me you have to find out, and it's a mystery, and like you got the.
Look, they're going inside.
Wow, they're going in the building. Incredible, with the address on it and everything. So they have a phone number. It looked like. Wow, incredible! What a mystery.
Look, they're going inside here.
Wow, doing terrorist stuff.
They're literally going inside of here.
Literally, incredible. They are going in the building. They're literally going in. Wow. Let's call the waterfront heated storage and tell them, hey, you got Antifa in your building. Wow. Using this as storage as a home base and saying they let these terrorists have free roam. Free roam. Rome, Italy, of the place. This is who Matt Tardio raised like $7,000 for. Matt Tardio's never done a fucking thing for another veteran on Speak the Truth on his YouTube channel, but he's raised $7,000 for this fucking. He's almost even got Trump's neck pussy. Looks like real life Cartman. Actually, he looks like real life. This is real life Cartman. Well, this is the hero now. This is the MAGA hero of Portland. Sometimes the jokes just kind of write themselves. I mean, you don't even say nothing. With this blowhorn. Okay, Tommy. Okay, I gotta stop. I have to stop, or I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't have any sponsors yet, though, so I can really just say what the fuck I want. But I got community guidelines, you know, got to be careful a little bit. Oh boy. Okay, so I mean that's really, I mean, beyond that. So Cam Higbee got destroyed. Portland is a mess with people like Tommy out there. I have more videos to upload too, and I should. I just haven't uploaded them yet. From Portland, etc., etc. What else I'm thinking of? This happened in Chicago today. They had the ICE agents out and they were getting tear gassed, but I'm already home and tracking where ICE is, unless you're a local journalist like some of this news is. But they got tear gas today. Here's a video of it. No, Tommy didn't block me. No. He probably doesn't know how. Just throwing tear gas at this is just a now this isn't a protest. There's no protest here. It's just a city like your neighborhood, and then people going out to see what the feds are doing, and they just gas people. Yeah, that's all really gonna go good for Trump and MAGA, gassing neighborhoods and shit in broad daylight.
Eddie?
You guys think that's gonna go well for him? MAGA will be like, we voted for this, and then I'll be like, yeah, I know, watch you lose it all now. You voted for it. There it goes. Oh no, you lost your power. Got him. Did you see how that ambulance was threatened by ICE in Portland when you were there? Kind of. There's just a lot happening. His name is Chandler Patey. The 2 or 3 block radius around the local ICE facility is pure chaos and anarchy. The block is anarchy. Incredible. For the first time in American history, a Christian cross has been engraved into the Presidential Medal of Freedom in honor of Charlie. Wow. Good. It'll go well with your other trophies. Wow. Apparently it was Charlie Kirk Day today. Oh, fuck. Yo. This guy wants to call you the F slur. Oof. What's going on? I've seen this meme. Like, there's like a few of them. Chat, you're gonna need dark woke here soon, okay? Just and punching up is fine. I don't give a fuck, personally. Like me personally. If you're punching upwards at people in power, I don't care what you say. Honestly. I swear to God, I don't. If you're punching down though, and you're like picking on people that aren't in power and they're just like look like that and they don't have power at all, then you shouldn't do that. This simple. Very easy to understand. If they're in power, yes. If they're not in power, don't. Very simple. Very simple language rules for what you should say and do. But you can live your life how you want. When it comes to people that are higher than me and they have power over my life and they're in the government, then full send on whatever you want to say about them. The usual suspects are here. The street? Wow, what a war zone. What a fucking war zone, Matt Tardio. Oh, wow, even the gates are just kind of open right now? Oh, no, they're closing again. One person? Nice. Is the usual suspect an inflatable shark? Oh, the college group chat? Oh, they were in the ones that were in the group chat that went out. This is far worse than anything said in a college group chat, and the guy who said it could become AG of Virginia. Is this a whataboutism? There was a big article that came out from Politico today about the right-wing, young Republicans racist group chat came out. I love Hitler, it says. Leaked messages expose young Republicans' racist chat. I posted this on Mercado Media on the Facebook page. Thousands of private messages reveal young GOP leaders joking about gas chambers, slavery, and the R word. I mean, are any of you guys that have been opposed to this really surprised, honestly? You shouldn't be shocked. This is the young conservative experience, actually. This is like the majority of the jokes in that. When you're a young male conservative, this is the jokes. This is the humor. This is the culture. And it's always been like this. It's just, I guess, now being exposed, I guess. I don't know. But it's always like that. And if you don't laugh and joke around, then you're like liberal or woke. Leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country are worried what would happen if their Telegram channel ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people, and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about R-wording their enemies and driving them to suicide, and lauded Republicans who they believe supported slavery. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the words the N-word in two different ways. Variations of a racial slur more than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of New York State Young Republicans at the time, referred to the R word as epic. So these are the people that they're getting. William Hendricks, who's that? That's why they're getting. Oh, wow. Oh, this is William Hendricks. William Hendricks, 20, is one of the youngest candidates to ever run for Topeka City Council. This is who's saying variations of slurs. That's about right. Let's close some of these tabs. Hold on. It's like a fucking... They all look like this too, don't they? Just the most racist, disgusting people all look like they were made out of Play-Doh. Okay, so that's William Hendricks. Who else we got here? Bobby Walker. Who's that? This is who's morphing the mind of young conservative males, because there's like no women. It's all males, and then conservative women like just have to deal with it. Some of them perpetuate it for sure, but majority of them just like settle for it because they just don't know anything else. And then they get beat and shit the whole marriage or relationship. Really? No way. There's a lot of Bobby Walkers. Which one's the right one? Which one's the correct Bobby Walker? Maybe I type in Bobby Walker Republican. Is this the guy? There's one of them. Okay, no, it's maybe they're on X. Bobby. Oh, it is that one. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. It is that guy. Another Plato character. Wow. There you go. Okay. There you go. So these are the most racist young Republicans we have. Apparently. Wow. Holy. Okay. Who else? Peter Guinta. I'm wondering if it's going to look the same. Oh boy. We better just look on X. Okay. Peter Guinta. Oh. Oh. Yep. Okay. 3 for 3. 3 for 3. Got it. Got it. Copy that. Yep. Incredible. 3 for 3. Holy cow. Well, you got your fucking you got your offensive lineman for the pedophile ward of the jail. You got that going for him. Oh, this shows all of them right here. Guess I could have just typed it in on X. Holy. Wow, who's that one? Is that another one? Jesus. Looks about right. Okay, so that's the 4 who is referenced in this article. Okay. Peter Guinta, who at the time was the chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June that everyone who votes no is going to the gas chamber. Damn. Guinta was referring to an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republicans National Federation, which is a 15,000 member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40. I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. Boy, if the fucking Cracker Barrel regulars looking ass. 2 members of the chat responded. This is like, honestly, this is the only place they can LARP this, because in real life they're gonna get made fun of and cry. So you guys understand that? Like, they're the only way that they can get away with this is in their own echo chambers. Because if they try to do this shit in public, they would get made fun of in ways that are not woke and nice or whatever. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetics. A Joe Malingo. Is that the guy with the glasses and the teeth? Oh, wow. Oh, never mind. He looks... Oh, wow. What's going on there? Why do all these fucking look like they were made in a lab? Oh my God. Well, there's the other guy. That's the other ultra racist. So that guy, this guy, that guy, and this guy walk into a bar. And take up the capacity. The size. What the fuck is this, though? That's crazy. They all look like, I mean, this guy's like a variant of Stephen Miller. I'm ready to watch people burn now. Holy fuck, dude. Who's this lady now? Who's this person? Hey, we need to tone down the rhetoric. This political violence is getting out of hand. They killed Charlie Kirk. Meanwhile, in the Republican group chats, holy. I'm ready to watch people burn now. Are you? There you go. There's our characters now. So there's that lady. Annie K. Katie. What a last name. K. Katie. Says she's ready to watch people burn. Oof. The exchange is part of a trove of Telegram chats obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months of messages among young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk and when they think no one is listening. That's just being conservative. I mean, yeah, this is an expose into like actual actors within the Republican Party. But like, this is just being conservative, though. I'm just being 100% 100 with you. This is literally like, go to a bar, go to any hole in the wall bar at like noon on a Tuesday. Go to any right wing event, anything that's like there's guaranteed to be only conservatives there, and just like listen. Since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job, and another job was rescinded. Prominent New York Republicans, including Representative Elise Stefanik and State Senate Minority Leader Rob Ort, have denounced the chat. And festering resentments among young Republicans have now turned into public recriminations, including allegations of character assassination and extortion. A liberating atmosphere. The 2,900 pages of chats is crazy. Shared among a dozen millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early of January and mid-August, chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican Organization on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. Many of the chat members already work inside government or party politics, and one serves as a state senator. Together, the messages reveal a culture where racist, anti-Semitic, and violent rhetoric circulate freely, and where the Trump-era loosening of political norms has made such talk feel less taboo among those positioning themselves as the next party's leaders. Duh, it was only going to get worse. The Republican Party is not trying to be like, okay, we need to chill out. Whoa, we've gone too extreme. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to like normal conservative views. No, they are triple downing on like crazier and crazier and crazier. This is the only place that this party was going to go. But like I said, in general, the rhetoric in conservative world is all of this, though. Without the politics, you just go to a space and they're talking about Jews, they're talking about gay people in like bad and very, very derogatory ways, talking about black people in derogatory ways, and it's like this is just the normal rhetoric of like a conversation in conservative world of like what it is. I told you. Race, vaginas and dicks, and where they're going. And that's like basically a conservative conversation. And then the Democrats. The more political atmosphere is open and liberating, like it has been with the emergence of Trump and a more right-wing GOP even before him. It opens up young people and the older people to telling racist jokes, making racist commentaries in private and public. Who studied racism for the past 60 years. He's also concerned the words would be applied to public policy. It's chilling, of course, because they will act on these views. They already have been. Of course. You have to make fun of them, and it has to be in ways that are mean. Okay, it can't be in nice ways that like because you call them fat. And then somebody that is like, well, that's not very nice to people that are overweight. Well, not talking to them. Talking to this guy specifically. Okay, and that needs to happen. You need to be mean. You need to call him weird. Or they're going to just keep going further into fascism. The more tone policing that happens and like the opposition, the worse you're going to have. That's the worst thing I see is when people tone police because like the words aren't woke or whatever. Because what you're saying, you're calling them mean words and it hurts somebody else's feelings. I don't give a fuck about that when it comes to people like this. If it's somebody, like I said earlier, if it's somebody that is not in power, I don't have shit to say to them. Really. Unless they wrong me personally. And then I'll have like a roast for you. But beyond that, I'm not like going to come at like your looks or anything. Or try to lower you in your looks. And it shouldn't represent all people that are like, I guess, overweight. It's this guy specifically. And you got to use words that will hurt their feelings. Okay, you have to. The dynamic of easy racism and casual cruelty played out in often dark, vivid fashion inside the chats, where campaign talk and party gossip blurred into the streams of slurs and violent fantasies. The group chat members spoke freely about the pressure to cow to Trump to avoid being called a rhino, the love of Nazis within their party's right wing, and the president's alleged work to suppress documents related to wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes. Trump's too busy burning the Epstein files, said Alex Dwyer, the chair of the Kansas Young Republicans. Damn. Dwyer and Katie declined to comment. Maligno and Hendricks did not return requests for comment, but some involved in the chat did respond publicly. Gwynta claimed the release of the chat is part of a highly coordinated year-long character assassination led by Gavin Wax and the New York City Young Republican Club. An allusion to a once obscure interscene. Oh, so they're having drama. Okay. No, that's what happens. An infighting and the chat got leaked. There you go. The logs were sourced by way of extortion and provided to Politico by the very same people conspiring against me, he said. What's most disheartening is that, despite my unwavering support of Trump since 2016, rogue members of his administration, including Gavin Wax, have participated in this conspiracy to ruin me publicly because I challenged them privately. So a bunch of drama, a bunch of bullshit, whatever. Nothing you guys would give a fuck about, actually, and you shouldn't. But because of that, we're getting information, which is what happens. You got to wait for these extremists to fuck up, and then they're going to start telling on each other. Promise you, that's all you got to wait for. Like, it's not all bad, okay? They are not unified. That's the other positive, is that the right wing is not unified at all. And that's an advantage, which is why when it comes to the movement against Trump, you have to be as welcoming as possible to all people, even newly reformed MAGA. It is what it is. If you have a MAGA that's like, I fucking hate Trump, good, bet, let's go. You're on our team now. And that's just is what it is. And then later down the line, you can ask him, why did you support? Like in the grand scheme of things, you can ask him, why did you support Trump? Why did it take you so long to not support Trump anymore? Like blah, 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 blah. But until then, you have to be accepting of them, because the more of the coalition against Trump, while MAGA and the Republican Party are like all over the fucking place, the better the chance we have at defeating him. Because you think he's gonna not run again, or not have a Trump proxy whatever running for president again, or they're going to keep holding power. So you need to have the coalition as big as possible, especially when they're all fucked up. At least one person in the Telegram chat works in the Trump administration, Michael Bartels, who, according to his LinkedIn account, serves as a senior advisor in the office of the general counsel within the U.S. Small Business Administration. Bartels didn't have much to say in the chat, but he didn't offer any pushback. The notarized affidavit signed by Bartels and obtained by Politico also sheds light on the intra-party rivalry that led the Restore Your War Room Telegram chat to be made public. Bartels references Wax as well. He wrote that he did not give Politico the chat, and that Wax demanded in a phone call that he provided the full chat log. When I attempted to resist that demand after providing some of the requested information, Wax served my provisional standing and raised blah, 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 blah. Infighting drama, bullshit. I don't care. 251 times mixed into formal conversations about whipping votes, social media strategy, and logistics. The members of the chat slung around an array of slurs, which Politico is republishing to show how they spoke. Epithets like the F slur, retarded, and the N-word appeared more than 251 times combined. 251 times? That's it? In one instance, Walker, who at the time was a staffer for Ort, talked about how a mutual friend of someone in the chat dated this very obese Indian woman for a period of time. Gwynta responded that the woman was not an Indian. She just didn't bathe often. Okay, so you guys shouldn't be shocked by this. It's just coming out. It's just a bunch of information that's coming out about it. Great. What? Yeah, I had some back and forth with the VC in Michigan. Current chair is a deer in the headlights. We have a call Wednesday. Many agree. He did say my delegates I bring will vote for the most right-wing person. Great. I love Hitler. And this will keep happening. These investigations and reports will keep coming out about all of this eventually. It's just whether like you're gonna have a good section of the country that's just gonna call it fake news and not believe it. So just expect that. Like all of this, listen, all of everything Trump's doing in this administration will come out. It will be exposed, but 70+ million Americans will not give a fuck, and they're the voting populace, obviously, and they will be like, yes, please, I would like some more. Oh, Trump's committing fraud. Trump's committing crypto fraud. Please, I would love that. Please do more. Trump's committing crimes. Yes. He had a pump and dump on the crypto recently that prompted even fucking Charlie to talk about it. He had Critical make a video about it. And he usually, like, he'll do some political videos here and there, but they're usually coded. He's not, like, outwardly political. But he can be. But he did a whole video about it.
I remember growing up thinking that brainwashing and mind control was just something you see in comic books and cartoons. But now I know it's a very real thing that you can see happening daily in this country. Now, the big thing I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about a lot here. There's going to be a bunch of blabber in here and drool coming out of my mouth as I'm spitting because I'm about to be getting pretty passionate. And the big focus is on the huge crypto collapse from yesterday. And the very suspicious, very lucky trader who was able to cash out $190 million off of it because they were shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before and all the way up until a minute before Trump's Truth Social post announcing the massive tariffs on China, which crashed the entire market. And then 30 minutes later, they cash out $190 million. It seems like
they're committing fraud at scale on a daily basis. On a daily basis.
I've known something, but that can't be, right? That would be corruption. And this administration doesn't engage in that kind of nefarious activity. Except for all the previous times that this exact same thing has happened with Trump announcing things on Truth Social that people close to him that suckle his fucking teats must have had insider knowledge on because they're able to cash out millions upon millions of dollars because of his rinse and repeat cycle of threatening tariffs, backing off tariffs, postponing tariffs, just fluctuating the market up and down. Yet people in his inner circle must be privy to this knowledge because they are making absolute bullseye trades based on that before it becomes public. So this-
and CoffeeZilla, by the way, who's a really you should, if you're on YouTube, you should know who both.
I remember growing up.
If you spend any time on YouTube, you should know who Charlie is, and you should definitely know who CoffeeZilla is. But CoffeeZilla has been doing videos on. Oh, he just did one a couple days ago. I've been busy, so I've been gone. But he's been covering Trump's crypto scams because that's what he does. That's what CoffeeZilla's big niche is scams, but crypto scams specifically now. And Trump is committing a scam with his crypto shit, and CoffeeZilla is tracking it.
Isn't really anything new. It's just the most egregious instance because you can literally see it. This account opens and starts shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before this announcement, and then a minute before the Truth Social post goes live. Like it's unbelievable.
You said you can't tell this one apart from Asmongold. If you listen to Asmongold speak, listen to Asmongold talk for 3 seconds, and you know the difference between Charlie and Asmongold.
And if you're a MAGA cultist, it actually is unbelievable. They refuse to believe it. They refuse to accept the very real reality that they are getting fucking hosed. Trump and Trump's family's net worth has exploded since becoming president. How do you defend that? Well, I'll tell you how. Because they say Trump is such a benevolent saint, he actually doesn't even keep his salary from being president. Wow, that's how much he cares about the American people. You fucking delusional homunculus.
Do we get this, Charlie, all the time?
The presidential salary is actual peanuts. It's literal fucking used condoms in the grand scheme of how much money him and his family are making throughout his presidency. When he was being fucking sworn in, he was still launching up to 168 new products.
And we have more coming. You got Trump RX coming. You got the Trump phone coming.
Doesn't even include things like his cologne that he launched. You know, fucking Trump Gooch Galore smell.
Gooch Galore.
The Trump watches, the Trump phone and shit like that. So that has only increased the amount of things that he is hawking to the American people to buy solely to enrich himself and his family. His fucking meme coin and all of that. His family is going ballistic in terms of how much money they are making off of his presidency. They're not even hiding it. They are just constantly making money off of you. As you suffer and get less and less money, they get more and more. They are taking the pizza and not even leaving you bits and pieces, morsels of the crust. It's It's sad, and yet people love it. They will accept it with a fucking smile on their face and say, please, give me some more. I've got more holes for you to fill. Please, come in here. I'm waiting. It's just absurd. They don't even stick to a single belief anymore. Like the Epstein files, I know I have made a lot of content on in the past, so I'm not going to regurgitate that. But the Epstein files are a really good example of how they really cared about the Epstein files, and they were really upset at the failure of Joe Biden to release them in that administration. So they were hyping up Trump about all of his promises to release those Epstein files, which he has still not done, and still actively just like discounts, and the entire administration denying the existence of now. And this same group of people that was so excited for Trump to follow through on that promise is now like,
I know, you know what my gauge of when things are actually really going bad is when content creators like Moist Critical make videos about it. Like, not because Charlie isn't an overly political person. He does videos every day, but he doesn't talk about American politics really. He does like here and there when it comes up, but the fact he's going so hard right now in this video, the situation in America is not good for Trump supporters or MAGA at all, or Trump.
oh, he didn't break any promises. In fact, it's just not even important. That's why he's not doing it. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, who cares about the Epstein files? We have so many bigger things to worry about. Like what the next product we're going to have to buy from Trump is. Like, they're just now saying, it doesn't matter. We don't care. We actually don't want this information. Actually, I believe everything they're saying now. Yeah, it definitely doesn't exist. Yeah, actually, Maxwell's probably innocent too. But again, I've already talked about that a lot. Let's talk about some other stuff. The COVID vaccine. Trump just got a COVID booster.
He did. And you guys know how MAGA feels about vaccines, right?
Conspiracy. Just out in the open, signed, documented, stamped. It is legitimate. Trump just got a COVID booster. And this administration has constantly played into the MAGA fear of the jab. That was one of the big things with MAGA, is like how this is, contaminating us, poisoning us. They're trying to kill us with the jab.
And then then their thing is, go get another booster, you lib. What are you gonna? Yeah, go get another booster, you leftist. Yeah, try that. And then their president is out here getting boosters. I've never gotten a single fucking booster, by the way. I'm not like tooting a horn or anything, because I don't know, but I haven't gotten any boosters. Trump is though. Trump's getting all the boosters. He's boosted, super boosted.
And now Trump just got the vaccine booster, and those same people like Gunther Dickelman are now.
Gunther Dickelman. President Trump is healthy and good to go. Dude is a machine. But I think Gunther Eagleman was like against vaccines, though. He's like, if anyone gets the vaccine, you're an idiot. Yeah. Remember when they told you will not get COVID if you get the vaccine? I do. They fucking lied. The COVID-19 vaccine was unsafe and ineffective. But yet, he's like, Trump is so good. God, love that vaccine. They're clowns. They're not serious people. Don't debate them. Don't even talk to them. The only time you talk to a MAGA is if they are no longer MAGA. And they might have been MAGA, but now they're done. And then you can talk to them. But until then, there's nothing to say to them.
Applauding him for it.
They're clowns. This is how their life works. Like, if Trump does it, it's good. If Trump doesn't do it, it's bad. That's it.
A fucking fart out of his butt for it, giving him a full rim job like, yes, the president's healthy. This is great news. Meanwhile, only a few months ago, a big talking point from him and so many others is the COVID vaccine and the evil of it. But now that Trump got the vaccine booster, well, now they love it. Well, now it's great. Actually, Trump probably got the vaccine booster because he's going to immediately give all of us herd immunity. He is using himself as a selfless sacrifice with the jab, so that way his aura of being immune to COVID will help infiltrate all of us via osmosis. So now we're all immune to COVID thanks to Trump getting the COVID vaccine booster. Or some crazy shit, maybe. That one I'm just spitballing, but I'm trying to find ways they'll mental gymnastics around it. But the sad reality is they're not even going to bother trying. They're just going to be like Gunther here and just be like the good little NPC drone that's like, anything Trump does is great. Can't wait to swallow more Trump meat. Even though it goes completely against all of the things he was talking about. Like, so many people that were talking about the jab and how evil it is and all of that are now celebrating that Trump got it.
That's MAGA. That is MAGA to a T. It's good if Trump does it, not good if he doesn't. You can have two of the same exact things that take place, but if Biden did it, it's bad. If Trump does it, it's good. That's how MAGA works.
It's just so obvious. It's so blatant. Like fucking cat turd. I don't think I've seen anything from him on Trump getting the jab here. Just radio silence, just crickets. It's just ignore things that make you have to think.
Yes.
That is the cult mentality of MAGA.
Yes, that's MAGA. That is MAGA 101. If it's tough think, if my brain has to work harder than what I think I already know, then I'm out. I'm out. I learned that firsthand again this weekend. And like there was this cop, former Chicago cop, who had his blue line matter, whatever, the blue line flag, whatever the fuck. And he had his MAGA hat and he was just like pacing. And I like tried talking to him. And then when we were getting to the bottom of it, like he just looked at his phone, like mid conversation. Like I'm talking to him and I got a point, and then he goes like this. He's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. I'll just go walk away. Bye. And that's what they like. They're hopeless. They are truly hopeless until they fall off because it's a cult. You can't debate them out of it. You can't talk them out of it. You can't do shit. Okay, chat? But MAGA is a cult. And then you can talk to them. And then you can debate them and you can challenge like what they, because they're still going to, even though they fall off of MAGA, they're still going to have a fuckload of narratives that they think are true. And then that they'll be more open to hearing what you have to say because they fell off of it. But they're still going to hold a bunch of biased ass fucking beliefs though. It's because they don't support Trump anymore. They're going to have a laundry list of things they still think is true. Okay. Because it's not a quick exit from the cult. But until they leave that, there is zero point in talking to them. If they openly support Trump right now, October 14th, 2025, if there is somebody that is openly MAGA or supports Trump, there is zero point in talking to them. Zero. None. Unless they come up to you and enter your space. And then, yeah, whatever. But don't go to them. Don't debate them. There's zero point in it at all.
Anything Trump does is perfect. Anything that makes me think that maybe there's something else there, I shut out. I plug my ears to. It is fucking horrifying. Trump is now building a Qatari Air Force base in Idaho.
Yo, I forgot about that. I forgot about the new Qatari Air Base, guys. You guys excited? You guys excited for the new Qatari Air Base in Idaho? That's so fun. Guys. Things to know about the Qatar training facility planned for an Idaho Air Base. Why don't we have a Russian base? Why don't we have China? Fuck it. North Korea, come on. Just why don't you set up in Iowa or something? Set up shop. Fuck it. Who cares, right? Saudi Arabia is already buying parts of our country. America will be owned by a bunch of like random countries eventually because the Republicans are going to sell us out to them. It'll be Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, certain Middle Eastern countries if they're conservative. And that's who will own America before I'm dead. I guarantee it. It won't be us. We're not going to own America at all. Well, America will literally be owned by a fuckload of just corporations and countries.
Trump has accepted a huge $400 million Wumbo Turbo Superstar jet from Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy gift. That's one hell of a donation there. I don't want to toss the B word around too lightly here. The
fake news because you don't believe it, or fake news because you don't want to believe it. Okay, this is happening. There's going to be a Qatari air base, and Qatar is giving Trump a plane. So whether you want to believe that or not is your choice, right? And it's your mental health that you have to worry about, not me. I don't give a fuck, but it's the truth.
Bribe nomenclature, but I mean, definitely smells a little fishy over here with that, especially in regards to what came soon after. He then signed a $5.5 billion deal with Qatar for a Trump golf course. Yippee, that's great for the American people. More Trump wealth that he...
New Trump golf course, 5.5 billion beachside. Wow. Oh, so he's getting a new golf course in Qatar. Qatar get him an airplane, and they get to build a base in Idaho. Wow. What a deal. That's so good for the American people. Wow, what a deal for the American people.
Accumulates here through this deal. And now he is putting a Qatar Air Force base on our homeland soil. America first, right? Yeah, it's really America first thinking right there. Yeah, and then I've already seen the cope about how actually no, this is a joint training procedure. This is something that we do all the time, actually. And I saw JD, My Chemical Romance, Vance talking.
Do you know what's crazy though? Like in general, in a vacuum, and you have to be in a vacuum because America first has already been used throughout history for Nazi movements, actually. But like in a vacuum, America first and putting Americans first is not bad. It's not a bad idea. Like, oh wow, let's actually care for our workers. Let's care for our laborers. Let's care for our families. Let's make sure that billionaires are taxed properly. Let's make sure that, hey, our communities are cleaned up. Let's make sure there are actual good faith crime policies of like the police and tackling crime actually. And not send the fucking National Guard into the cities to handle crime. Okay? There's actually good faith, actual like things that you can put forth that put Americans first. And like that's not MAGA. It's not MAGA at all. And it's nothing. And you can't even use the America First slogan because it's already been used for absolute bad. Okay? But it sucks though, because in theory though, putting Americans first sounds good. And that's why people fall into that trap. That's why people fall into that. They fall into, oh, America first. Oh, I like that. That sounds good. Oh, I want to be put first. Okay. What else do you got then? I like the slogan. And then that's when they get you. That's all it takes. The slogan.
Today about like how it's actually just all fake news and stuff. Even though they have literally verbatim point blank said exactly what this deal is. And he is just denying that. So not even the administration is in agreement on their talking points right now. It's a fucking mess. And still, people are so brainwashed and mind controlled that they'll just accept it and be like, this is great. This is America first, actually, to put this Qatar Air Force Base in Idaho. That's actually exactly what I wanted. And then Trump always finds a way to surprise me with some crazy schizo posting late at night. So his most recent one is the Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th.
Who was the president on January 6th? Who controlled the Department of Justice, which the FBI answers to? On January 6th. Who was the president, guys? MAGA does this too, where they atrophied Trump as president during COVID and Biden was president the whole time, which is so wild. I mean, that was a quick one. That was a quick 1984 Orwell thing that MAGA went through. It still goes through. To where apparently Trump, like even now, government's still shut down. Do you guys know the government's still shut down? It's still there, but the Republicans control the government completely, but yet they're blaming Democrats. And they're saying the Democrats are the ones keeping the government shut down, but the Republicans control obviously Trump's president. They have the Supreme Court majority. They control both chambers of Congress. They have everything. So it's the same game being played. But in MAGA world, apparently Biden was president in 2020.
If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam! Do something! President DJT. There is so much wrong with that. I think he forgot to take his suppositories because holy shit, Trump was president on January 6th. Biden did not control the FBI. But you know what? Let's play ball here and dive into a fucking fever dream.
Why? So that's what you have to do. You have to dive into a fever dream to engage with MAGA in 2025. You have to indulge their false reality. You have to. That's the only way, which is why it's pointless. I like the reality that we already have sucks. Okay. I don't want to play in your little made up world, in MAGA world. I don't want to play that. I don't want to do that. That's why, like in the couple debates I've been in on Wix thing, I mean, I took one of them serious, but the other one I was just like not really fucking. Because it's a clown show. You look at any of the MAGA debaters, they're all clowns. Every single one of them. Andrew Wilson, fucking all of them are a bunch of clowns. And they have nothing actually with a substance to say, ever. You have to entertain their make-believe world in order to then do, and then hypotheticals. And that's so stupid, and I hate it.
Fantasy. Let's say Joseph Biden set down his ice cream, cracked his knuckles, and assumed direct control of the FBI on January 6th and placed all of these agents in here just as Trump says. Well, why don't you do something about it? You are the president. Who are you asking to do something? God? Batman? Like, who are you trying to call? Who are you trying to summon to do something? You are the president. So if this is real, Why aren't you doing anything? This is a classic President DJT maneuver here, the entire administration really, where they're like, all of these crimes from the Democrats, all of these absolutely abhorrent, vile crimes that the Democrats have done. No more playing nice, no more Mr. Nice Guy. We're showing our teeth, we're baring our fangs, and we're gonna get something done about it. And then nothing. It's all just posturing. It's all performative. It is a game, and they are playing you. They're
play you as in MAGA. The MAGA, and a lot of probably the right-wing viewers that Charlie gets, because by default, like, if you don't talk about current events, and like, I mean, Charlie does, he does talk about current events, but not political related ones usually. Like, it's usually like stuff that happens in the culture of like American news and stuff, but it's not like highly political. But you get a lot of right-wing viewers doing that actually, and it's not bad, not bad. So he's talking to probably a lot of his right-wing viewers. Of like, you're in a fucking cult, you're being brainwashed, wake up, something, you know, trying to wake them up for a second, like, hey, pay attention. So most of you guys that are watching, I mean, obviously you're aware of Trump, so it's the ones that are quiet, that are like sitting there debating about what's going on in the world right now and what to believe and think, and those are the ones that Charlie's talking to, and who I talk to. Like when I'm like going and I'm like going on a rant, I'm ranting at the ghost of MAGA that I know is watching, because I know they're watching for sure, 1,000% watching. So I'm talking at them. But most of you guys in chat, and those of you guys that are in my community, I already know that you are agreeing with me. So I'm trying to reach the few that are like scared, and they like don't know how to let go of Trump.
We're showing our teeth, we're baring our fangs, and we're gonna get something done about it. And then nothing. It's all just posturing. It's all performative. It is a game, and they are playing you. They are preying upon your gullibility and your inclination to be afraid, to constantly keep you in fear, because when you are afraid and when you are convinced that the other side is doing all of these things to get you, you are so fucking easy to control. You're so malleable.
So easy. That's what I tell you. I could do right-wing media. Like I could become a right-wing propagandist tonight. I could end this stream, make a quick YouTube channel called Donald Patriot Trump Supporter 1776 or whatever, and just start spitting right-wing bullshit. Just start saying the craziest shit. Just start making up shit, and you'll cook, and you'll cook so hard, and it's a money glitch. That's why people do it. So celebrities that are washed as fuck when they're old be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do right-wing politics now, because that's a grift, and you make a fuckload of money. Tell chat, I'll tell you straight up, you ever down bad, do right-wing politics, and you won't be down bad anymore. You sell your soul, though. You won't have a soul anymore, and people will hate you, and you'll be treated like Cam Higbee does in public. But if you can accept that, you make a lot of money. I promise you. Or the other money glitch is don't make yourself a public figure and just make right-wing merch. That's the other money glitch. Like, if you're down bad and you know how to get some shit going, make merch for the right wing, and you'll make a fuckload of money off of them. I'm telling you, I'll tell you how to grift them. I know how to grift all of them. Okay, I just don't do it, obviously, because then I'd have to sell my soul and be a right-wing dumb fuck. But if you do it quietly and you do it privately in your downtime, go to softball tournaments. That's one you can go to. Go to outdoor expos. Go to anything like honestly, like a fair, a county fair would be fine. You can go to that and just pull up shop, bring your merch, bring all your MAGA merch and shit, and just make a fuckload of money. And you can do that. I know a lot of people on the left that do that, actually. I know a fuckload of people that are left leaning as hell, and they just make a shitload of money off of MAGA with their stupid ass merch. Because all you gotta do is put a fucking eagle on there, a pterodactyl or something, and like Trump, and like he's firing an M16 or something, and these fucking losers are gonna buy it and charge them $30, and they'll buy it. Okay, make your money.
Valuable. That's why they're playing that shit in the airports now about
how put Charlie Kirk's face on something, and you'll make a shitload.
Fucking easy to control. You're so malleable.
Easy.
That's why they're playing that shit in the airports now about how like the Democrats are Satan and all of that. If you have all of this overwhelming evidence that you claim to have about all of these crimes and all of this shit that the Democrats have done, why have you done nothing? You would be just as guilty in that case. What is the quote? The only thing it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing? Well, if you know that all of this evil is happening from the Democrats and you're doing nothing, you're just as guilty. Like, this is so clearly obvious to anyone that's thinking for more than 5 fucking seconds. And you don't even need to be thinking for 5 seconds to see this new Truth Social stinker here that he squeaked out as anything other than just a sham. Like, this should just be alarming into the mental decline of Trump. He was president on January 6th. He controlled the FBI. Not Biden. Biden was probably out riding his bike to a fucking twisty treat. I don't think he was down there as the puppet master pulling the strings, putting FBI agents in January 6th. It is so crazy, and yet people...
Democrats in the Republican right-wing world, Democrats are both woke snowflakes that can't do anything, but also like deep state cabal, like puppeteers, like make shit happen behind the scenes. They're both, and that's why the right wing world sucks, because you're in a constant state of like not believing what you're told, but like you have to, because you're like, wait, well, I thought the Democrats were strong, but now they're scary. Or I thought the Democrats were scary, but now they're weak. Okay, sure, yeah, now they're weak, but then the next day they'll be like, oh, now they're killing everyone. The left is like so violent and they're killing everyone, and then the next day it's like, oh, the left is wearing inflatables and they're so weak and they lost, and they lost the election. Like literally, it'll happen in the same day now. Actually, you could have a breaking news story, and then hours later another breaking news story, and then like the left is somehow like the opposite of what was just said like earlier, and it could be like flip flopped and exchanged.
Will just swallow it. They will swallow any shit that Trump feeds them happily, even when they know it's something bad. Like,
please, and then they want more too. Not only that, but then they want more.
Ted Cruz saying that he got into Congress 13 years ago solely
for Israel,
to represent the interests of Israel. Mm-hmm. He is an American politician who openly states that he is here for Israel.
For Israel, yeah.
That, again, like I said, feels treasonous to me. And I imagine most people in a different time period would feel the same.
For the follow.
Because of how tribalistic politics has become, if you're a big MAGA enthusiast, Trump supporter, you have to somehow just hand wave that and support it because that's what you're told you need to do.
But also, you know nothing else really. I mean, what else is there? You got what the right-wing media tells you is the left wing, which is how the conservative world works. So conservative world works is that you have your beliefs, but then in order to get the other side's beliefs, you watch your own media. It's a whole scam. So Fox News tells you what the left says. Newsmax tells you what the left is saying. Joe Rogan will tell you what the left is saying. Whatever. And like that, instead of actually going out. And so some people are going out there, and some conservatives are going out into the protests and talking to protesters. And I mean, that can work, I suppose, but a lot of what people believe is what their media tells them. They don't actually like look and see what the other side is saying, or like listen to other influencers that are actually left leaning or whatever and like see what they have to say. No, it's like they'll just watch what their own media tells them is what the left says. And so it creates a whole like indoctrination environment.
If you're a big MAGA enthusiast, Trump supporter, you have to somehow just hand wave that and support it because that's what you're told you need to do.
But also too, that's your family and friends. Like you have no other family and friends that aren't conservative. So you don't want to feel like a loser. You want to feel isolated. You lose your family, you lose your friends because you're a leftist. They want to talk to some leftist, or like you'll be treated differently. Your social opportunities will cease. Your business opportunities will also cease because you're a leftist now, I guess. Yeah, opportunities will go away. So that's why people don't jump away from MAGA right away, because of all the shit you have to go through to do it.
Even though anyone should be able to hear that and be concerned. Why does Israel have such a huge stranglehold on the American political landscape and such a massive say-so? And
literally, that's bipartisan, actually.
American companies do their business, and why do they even have like the ability to start making demands about what needs to be censored in regards to their atrocities on American platforms? It would be alarming to everyone if the political sphere wasn't just, I have to support everything from this side no matter what. It is fucking scary. Now, I do want to make a mention of something. It's not all horrible, awful news. There's actually a ceasefire going on right now, and I can only pray that it sticks. With Netanyahu, you never really fucking know.
It's not gonna stick. They'll like come up like they'll false flag something and then say Hamas isn't keeping up their end of the deal. We have to continue leveling it, and then they'll do that. That's what's gonna happen.
Gaza will no longer need to fear being massacred by Netanyahu's IDF. Now, I know I said at the beginning of the video the focus of this was going to be on the crypto collapse and the super lucky guy that happened to make $190 million going against all rational thinking and against all the odds. Truly a miracle. But I couldn't help myself. This is just so preposterous. But now, let's finally dive into the crypto collapse. CoffeeZilla made a video going over this. It's extremely...
I love how his brainwashing situation title is just MAGA. It should just be like MAGA is crazy. But he has a way with titles.
Well put together, so I'm going to be showing you some clips of that.
Because in order to be MAGA, you have to be brainwashed. That's it. I mean, okay, I'll give a leeway to the early MAGA like me. Because, like, we didn't... I mean, I guess, like, the indoctrination of conservative politics and stuff, like, for sure. But, like, Trump in 2016, he wasn't president yet. So you had the ignorance of that. Of, like, oh, well, he hasn't been president yet. We don't know what he's like. And so we got to see what he's like, and it was bad. And for me, I fell off at that point because his presidency was fucking terrible. And at that point, you're done. Like, for me, at least, and for many others. But in order to remain MAGA at this point now in 2025, almost 10 years later, well, no, 10 years later, you're in a cult and you're brainwashed in order to remain that way, because a normal person would have fallen off by now because they gave him the chance. They're like, okay, he was president. Yep, saw that. That was bad. Can't do that again. I'll try to coup the government. Yeah, can't have that one. But if you're in a cult or if you're brainwashed, you've accepted that. You've been like, oh, January 6th was Antifa. January 6th was the federal agents. The federal agents are Antifa. Antifa is FBI, but not Kash Patel's FBI because he's here to fix it. And that's how you stay within this cult, and you're fucking brainwashed. So in 2025, MAGA, if you're still MAGA and you still support Trump, you're brainwashed, and you're in a cult.
I don't even know what this is. I think this is all legal, kind of. I don't think it should be, as you'll see.
Thing is, even if it wasn't legal, it wouldn't matter. There will be no justice pursued regardless, because...
And there won't. And let's just accept that too. There won't be.
I think it's pretty clear that whoever this is, they are part of Trump's inner circle of cronies, and they had this knowledge beforehand, what was coming. And it doesn't take a genius to recognize that imposing these huge tariffs on China was going to have a huge effect on the market.
Only everybody that voted against him in 2024 were like, because Trump, these tariffs should be surprising. If you're like a small business owner and you voted for Trump, one, slap yourself and then do it again. But two, you should have known that these fucking tariffs, if you're a small business owner with inventory that's coming in from China and from overseas, you should have known that. Why didn't you look up his concepts of policies, one of them being tariffs? And he wasn't kidding. Economists were thinking he was like, oh, there's no fucking way he's going to tariff. Like, we can't do that. Like, that's going to ruin the economy. He's probably just saying some shit. No, we're in tariffs. He's doing tariffs, and it's destroying the fucking economy, as predicted by everybody.
So it was a pretty easy opportunity for them to short with that knowledge in mind and make an unbelievable amount of money. Again, if it is legal, it shouldn't be, like CoffeeZilla says, but even if it isn't legal, it won't matter, because they're not going to do anything about it.
Literally.
But the question is, what did this guy know? Okay, how did somebody make $190 million while everyone else was losing their shirts yesterday? If you don't know, there was one of the biggest crashes we've ever seen in crypto. And someone came in 24 hours before and
sniped it.
Started placing shorts against the market. Short is just when you bet that the underlying asset is going to go down in price and you will make money on that. Now,
and you can do that. You can do that. And it's legal. Like, you can do, but it becomes illegal when you know that shit's happening. Okay, when you got insider trading going on, and like you get the information that shit's about to happen, and then you short your sales, you short your positions. That's illegal. You can't do that. But if you get lucky doing it or whatever, you just do it. And you're like, fuck it, on a random decision, and like shit ends up in your favor, then whatever. But with the insider information, makes it illegal. But is anything going to happen to Trump? No. Hell no, it's not.
This all started October 9th. at 16:39 GMT time. They start accumulating this Bitcoin short.
So T-minus 24 hours until the rest of the world knows this information about the impending tariffs. They come in with $80 million that they start shorting Bitcoin with. That is not like a gamble or anything. That feels like they knew for sure.
Exactly. Like I said, like you can gamble and do that and get lucky and short shit if shit's going bad for some companies and you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking at personally, but you're not like in the inside of the company to know like when to short shit, which would make it illegal.
Something was going to happen. That is a crazy amount to come out of nowhere with to short Bitcoin.
Literally, someone knew.
The amount is unusual, but that itself is not the unusual part. Then we have Ethereum starts to get shorted at 3:49 GMT. Interesting. $30 million gets deposited into this account. Immediately start placing major bets that the market is going to go down. Why is this significant? Well, because at 14:57, this is only a few hours later, like 12 hours later, Trump posts on Truth Social that they are calculating a massive increase on Chinese tariffs.
Zoinks. That's really lucky. This account comes out of nowhere, swinging huge numbers, slinging big time fucking doubloons here on these shorts. And then shortly after, well, it looks like something might be happening to the market here with these potential tariffs that they're calculating.
Where I think this goes from suspicious to downright diabolical is the fact that at this point, the market dips a little bit because you have these threats of tariffs. But the person does not start closing out their shorts yet.
No, that's not weird. This trader's just got diamond hands. What?
Diamond hands?
Close out his position based off of just that one tweet there? No, that wouldn't make any sense. He's just got strong paws to really grip onto his positions here.
Which I think is very interesting. If you place this huge short bet and then the president tweets something like this, you would think you would close out your order. But not only do they not do that, not only do they not close out their short, they continue to place short bets against Bitcoin. In fact, this person continues to short Bitcoin all the way up till 2049, 23 GMT. Why is that significant, ladies and gentlemen? It's because 2049 is the last short he places, okay? 2050 GMT. A minute later, 1 minute later, Trump announces they're considering an 100% tariff on China, which of course.
See how all this is like not supposed to be like that, but it's all kind of adding up to some fraud here, at least from what I can see.
Of course,
and clearly CoffeeZilla
market. And this person makes literally $190 million in 24 hours.
Then over the course of the next half hour, they close out all of their shorts and they cash out big time. Jackpot. Wow, did they get lucky or what, huh? Man, I cannot believe the coinky-dink there. Shorting all the way up until 1 minute before Trump's tweet. Geez, some guys have all the luck. You would actually need to be the biggest fucking stupidest troglodyte on the planet to think that this was just like a lucky, you know, miracle trade here from this individual. This is clearly someone that had information about what was coming. The speculation is that it's Barron Trump. There's a lot of people that are providing their loose evidence that it's Barron. Nothing's confirmed on who this is, and I don't think there will ever be confirmation on who this was.
Not with how shady crypto is. Hell no. Hell no. There's never been a better time for dark money and moving money than crypto.
But it doesn't take a galaxy brain 5-digit IQ genius to see this and recognize that the only way that something like this happens is if that person had prior knowledge of what was coming. There is no other explanation for it. So while everyone else lost tons of money, some people lost everything. This crash was so colossal that some people took their own lives because of it. The only way that someone went totally against the grain all the way up until 1 minute before the fucking, you know, bomb.
Banana Republic 2039 says it was literally already proven that the short was from Bit4x CEO. Oh, there you go. This came out, what, a day ago? 100,000 Bitcoin hyperliquid whale, allegedly linked to former Bitforex CEO and fraud scandal. The fund isn't mine. On-chain investigator Ion Chain has allegedly identified the mysterious hyperliquid whale controlling over 100,000 Bitcoin as Garrett Jin, former CEO, collapsed exchange Bitforex. Okay, bunch of shit I'm not going to understand. He's a liquid whale, hyperliquid whale. How much is this guy worth? Money words. Can I get, who is this guy? How much is he worth? Denies Trump link. Yeah, right. He's denies to Trump an insider Bitcoin bet. The fund isn't mine, it's my clients. We run nodes and provide in-house insights for them. We run nodes. It's just a node, guys. Not only am I the president, I'm also a client. Sure, bro. Oh, boy. Yeah. Chat, it's just a node.
Dropped from Trump here is if they knew it was coming. Like, it's just, I think it is so clear. And the only way you could possibly think anything else is if you're already brainwashed and mind-controlled and stuck in a cult mentality.
Literally.
I really don't know what it will take to snap people out of this.
They have to come out of it themselves, as I will continue to say forever. They have to come out of it at this point. At this point, like the opportunity to debate MAGA and get them out of it was like from between 2016 and a month or two after January 6th. After that, now the window is closed for them, and the only way they come out is themselves, because it's a cult. Look at any cult ever. Do you ever talk them out of it? No, they have like some absolutely horrific situation happen to them, and then they come out because of the horrific situation. Usually involving like SA or something. Okay, that's where we're at now. If they didn't care about January 6th, and then voted for him again, and then especially after the economy and and the layoffs, the military going into our cities, ICE being a secret police of Trump now. I mean, if they haven't fallen off by now, they are not coming out of it without themselves coming out of it, and that's just what it is. No matter how many debates, shout out to Wick TV. You know how many debates Wick hosts with these maggots, and you listen to them on Wick's channel or whoever, they're not going to be changed until they themselves are personally affected now. If their money is touched, or they're in a situation from another MAGA and they're like, and the worst happens to them because of the cult, like eats themselves. Okay, that's the only way they come out of it.
The people that are just so far gone and willing to deny all the evidence of their eyes and ears, that they're constantly being told that they need to, following these orders of just deny everything that you see and hear from this administration and everything going on. I don't know how you bring them back into like being able to think, like actually be able to think. It's fucking terrifying. It's actually extremely scary. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I wanted to yap about this morning.
So, you know, when Charlie yaps about it, shit's serious. That's why I reacted to this, because I do watch Charlie's videos, and they're pretty entertaining, and he usually just does culture-centric videos about, yes, things that are current events, but in the culture, not in the politics or like laws or, you know, I mean, culture stuff can still be serious, but he usually focuses on culture and video games. And to have him talk about MAGA in such a way, and clearly, I mean, I agree with there's not one thing I didn't disagree with him about what he had to say about MAGA and the situation with him. So good video by my Moist Critical, as usual. Okay, here's the ones that are in that group chat, and I think we can leave it there for tonight. I know it's a late stream tonight. All my streams are not at this time usually. They could be, I guess. I guess we could just do a stream at this time if I ever wanted to. But they'll be during the daytime because that's when breaking news happens. So I'll be live tomorrow. We got to talk about the upcoming No Kings and whether I'm staying in Minnesota, which I'm leaning towards, to be honest, because it's just been a lot of travel. And I don't have the funds to travel anymore. I will here soon, and I don't want to keep asking for fundraising unless it's like I'm going to a frontline situation. So I appreciate everybody for the support to getting me to Portland, getting me to Chicago, and beyond, because that's going to continue. So if you guys did like the on the ground IRL streams, that's our bread and butter here, and I prefer to do those type of streams. But obviously we have these every day, so make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you to everybody for contributing to the Buy Me a Coffee. We're going to be live on my gaming channel for the rest of the night as usual. If you guys want to come on over, we're going to play the campaign for Battlefield 6. I played a little Battlefield 6 last night, and it was fun. But there's a campaign and a story mode, and I want to play that, and we can probably do that all tonight. So we also have Ghost of Yotei to finish. We'll do that immediately after this. Well, not tonight, but like that'll be the next game. It's also spooky season. So after we finish this, well, actually, it's going to be a busy weekend. We have Battlefield 6. Arc Raiders has a playtest this weekend. So we'll be playing a lot of Arc Raiders. So that, but then we have Ghost of Yotei. So Battlefield 6, Ghost of Yotei, and Arc Raiders right now. And then hopefully by next week, we'll have all that wrapped up and we can go back to some horror games and some spooky games. But come on over to my gaming channel, guys, Mercado Gaming. It's a great time. And we'll be playing Battlefield 6 tonight. Okay, super good time, the story mode. So I hope to see you guys there. Thank you again for watching. Shout out to all the members, everybody for supporting the stream tonight. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to everybody that followed on the Twitch. Thank you, Tizzy Hustle. Thank you, Gamer Jamin. Thank you to Pixel Kate, all your guys' first time comments, all the follows, the treasure train, whatever that means. But I got a treasure train, I guess. Thank you to everybody there. Thank you to everybody on the Facebook. I appreciate you guys. Just hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you again for the 20 from Desaid for the travel funds. I appreciate that. Don't feel obligated to donate. Just like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. More content, more news tomorrow. See you guys then. Have a good one.